Okay, so now again, remember, it doesn't matter right or wrong. All right. So we're starting with question number 1. All right. I need 2 consecutive positive odd numbers. All right. The product of which is 783. Tell me, Samantha. Just no, I want the answer. Good. 391 and 392. Molly. Don't, it doesn't matter. It does. You can say 1 and 2. It doesn't matter. Don't compare yourself with what's up there already. All right. It doesn't matter. I want to know what you got. All right. I want it to be different. 783 and 1. Mr. Greep. Tell me, buddy. No. Listen, it doesn't matter. Trust me. 760 and 23. Good. Anybody else? Nobody? Nobody? Nobody else? I have an idea. That's nice to know that you have an idea. Very good. All right. Nothing out of you today, sunshine? Wow. Palm? Nothing? All right. My brain hurts. All right. That's a great answer. All right. So let me just go ahead and cut that garbage right out. All right. First of all, I'm not even sure some of you know what consecutive means. We've been in school for 2 consecutive days. What does that mean? In a row. That's exactly what that means. So now I want an example of consecutive numbers. Give me an example. Anything. Yes. 3 and 4. Those are consecutive numbers. Those are 2 consecutive numbers. However, I want 2 consecutive odd numbers. What would that be? Like 1 and 3. Now, why am I saying odd numbers? Because I actually read, it says positive odd numbers. What in the world does product mean? Multiply. So I'm trying to figure out what 2 numbers multiplied together that are in a row that equal 783. So now that you know the definition, Miss Lupin, the obvious answer was what? Was not the answer I was looking for, but that's possible. What? 9 and 2. Let me think. Times. Well, thank you for that information. Man, I'm glad I came to school today. I learned 9 times 2 is 18. Unfortunately, I want consecutive odd numbers. Here we go. Tell us, please. It's not consecutive, then it's probably what? Not the answer. Very good. Oh, come on. Everybody knows 2 numbers multiplied together are 783, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what are they? Everyone, since everyone knows. Yes, no. All right, so now let me teach you. You almost there? Let me teach you now how to find this. So simple. All right, so simple. Everybody's looking up at the number 783. All right, I need to multiply 2 numbers together. So since I need to multiply 2 numbers together, I want someone to tell me what number goes into 783.
3.
3 does. Now, how did you know that?
Because I added it. Also,
Yes.
9 goes into that.
Right. Come on, girls. Come on. So if you don't forget to add the digits, if you add the digits, 7 plus 3 plus, or 7 plus 8 plus 3 is 18, which means that it's divisible by 3 and also by 9. All right. So what I want you to do is I want to select the larger number. So I'm going to take 783 and we're going to divide it by 9. Now, this is where we're going to practice our mental math. Come on. This is what's making you smarter right now. Knowing how to break down numbers and see them differently. So how many times does 9 go into 78?
9. I mean, 8.
8 times. All right. So 9 times 8 is what?
7.
So we have how many left over? 6. Okay, I need to stop. 63. 9 goes into 63. Right. So now I know that 9 times 87 is, guess what? 783. But the problem is 9 and 87, are they consecutive odds? No. So we got to find another number. All right. So what I want somebody to do is I want somebody to tell me now, how do I break down 87? What do I do there? No. What? $87 is divisible by what again?
3.
Yeah, 87 is divisible by 3 again. All right. It's not an easy thing to see unless you learn to add the digits. So 87 is 3 times 3 goes into 8
2.
twice with how many left over?
2.
3 goes into 27. There you have it. So now I need to ask you, what times what is 783? Tell me.
27 and 29.
That's exactly correct. Right, now how does she know that? Because she takes the 9 and the 3 and multiplies it together. And when I multiply the 9 and the 3 together, what do I get?
27.
Right. So now we know that 27 times 29 is equal to 783. And those two numbers are what? Consecutive odd integers. Consecutive odd integers. Is everybody with me on this?
Yes.
All right. Now, please, guys, this is a really cool way of breaking down big numbers so you can see what you're doing. All right. Tell me. You have a question? No? Yes. Yes. Yep. Perfect. Tell me. Okay, hold up. So now again, if you weren't sure or if you thought I taught you something, you should make a little star by number 1, all right, and evaluate that, because something like that will probably be on the test. All right, where you have to break numbers down to try to figure them out. All right. Now, I really feel like everybody should have been able to do number 2 properly. However, last class I had all kinds of different answers. All right. So again, we've got to read carefully. Tell me. I've got a 45 so far. Let's start back here. 45. Good. 45 and 39. Good. 42 is good. I like it a lot, guys. And remember what I tell you, don't worry about your mistakes. All right, tell me. 45. 45. Good. So I'm probably thinking it's 45, but 21. All right, here we go. 45. Okay. So again, probably if I were betting, all right, I would probably say my answer is 45, but we're going to see. Yes, ma'am. 28 is good also. So let me get back. Since 28 wasn't there, we'll go ahead and throw 28 down there. All right. Did you get something? 44 is good also. All right. So now listen, guys, this is my opinion. All right. You can do it differently. All right. But we're starting out with how many cards? 55. So here we go. 55. I'm starting with 55. Now, as I'm reading, he traded 8 cards for what? So now I don't put, well, I added or I subtracted 8 and then added 5, right? I just said, if I traded 8 for 5, that means I lost how many cards? 3. So I put a -3 down, right? Then what I did was I looked at my next situation. He traded 6 for 4. So that means I lost what? I lost 2 more. All right. Now losing 2, is that necessarily a bad thing? No, your cards might be better. All right. So now finally we're looking at 5 for 3. So I lost 2 more. And then 9 or 12 for 9 means I lost 3. Now, instead of doing, 55 minus 3 minus 2 minus 2 minus 3, your brain should look at minus 3 and minus 2. What's that? Minus 5. What's minus 2 and minus 3 again? Another 5. So altogether, I lost how many? 10. So if you started at 55 and you lost 10, that means your correct answer is what? 45. Now, give yourself a nice check. All right, if you got that right, that means you're 1 out of 2, which isn't bad. All right, which isn't bad. All right. Now, again, I'm just trying to show you examples of how I'm thinking through these problems. All right, and that's how I want you to do it. When you don't know something, just write something down. You write something out. All right, you're not supposed to look at these and say, oh, that's obviously the answer. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to hit pause for just 1 moment. Okay. Now, I want to start back here with the girls this time. How much? I'm happy with you. $4.50. Tell me. 8. Good job so far. 9. I like it. Good job. Come on. 8. Tell me. 8. Good. Oh, we got some 8s. More 8s. Tell me. Wow. Uh-oh.
8.
Okay, seems like we're good.
8.
AJ. 8. Anybody else with a different answer? Yes, sir. Good. 4. I'm happy with that. Anybody else? Tell me. Yeah. Okay. So if I'm betting, I'm probably saying it's 8, but remember, I've had problems where nobody's got it correct. All right. Now, part of algebra and pre-algebra is teaching you to think backwards. All right. So in order to think backwards, all right, we got to write the situation out. All right. So do we know how much money her allowance is? No, we don't. So what I like to do is I like to say, okay, here's my allowance. All right. Here is my allowance. All right. That's a certain amount of money. Then what did I do to my allowance? The first thing I did is I cut it what? I cut it in half. All right. Because I cut it in half, I have this much left. All right. I'm trying to give you just a physical description. All right. Then from there, I did what? I spent $1.75. So what do I have to do with that $1.75? I subtracted it from that. All right. So the first thing is I divided by 2, then I subtracted $1.75, and that left me with how much money? That's right. It left me with $2.25. Now, I'm trying to show you, we're just backtracking. We're going in the exact opposite direction. All right. So to get from 225 to here, I had to do what? Tell me, sorry. Yes, you added $1.75. Now you don't need to do that on pencil and paper. You're supposed to say $2 and $1 is how much? $3, and then 75 cents and 25 cents is another dollar. So altogether, that was what? So this amount of money in this stack now is $4. That's what you're supposed to notice. Right? So those of you guys with $4, you just didn't go the extra step. That's all. It's not a big deal. So now you went from what to $4? 8, because you divided by 2. So if you're going backwards, instead of dividing by 2, you can just do what? Multiply by 2. So that's why the correct answer is $8. That's why the correct answer was $8. All right, does anybody have any questions with that? All right, anybody have any questions with that? No, but yes.
So I got it right, but I think, I did something wrong with, are we like required to draw it out? Is like.
No, I don't care. I'm just showing you.
Oh,
Nope, makes no difference. I care about the answer. I'm just showing you the best technique for doing word problems is to write things out. Draw pictures if necessary. All right, just like this problem for number 4. All right, I'm going to pause and give everybody another minute. All right, give everybody another minute. All right, tell me. 3.33. Good. It looks like we're on the right track. 0.2. Anybody else want to give me a number just in case it's right? And I say that answer, you don't want to say, well, that's what I got. Yeah, 3 repeating. Anybody else? All right, guys. So again, I'm not sure how you're coming up with these numbers. All right, so I'm going to slide it off to the side a little bit here for a second, and then we're going to talk about it. Now, the ball is dropped from what? 200 feet, right? So that's where we're starting. Now, when the ball hits the ground, all right, when the ball hits the ground, how do I figure out how high it bounced?
By, once you drop it, you divide it by 0.6.
Anybody else? Okay, let's do this. Now, here's something I think that's helpful. All right, listen to me for a second. If I said it bounced 0.5 of its height, and it started at 200, where would it, well, after the bounce, it would bounce up to how high? 100, correct? Because we all know that half of 200 is what? So what did I do with 0.5 and 200 to get 100? You cut it in half, but instead of cutting it in half, 0.5 and 200, what operation is involved? You have to use those two numbers. What did I do? I don't think I divide. If I divided, believe it or not, it would be 400. Yes, sir. Thank you. You multiplied. If I were to take 200 times 0.5, all right, you would say 2 times 5 is 10 with 2 zeros, but then you'd move the decimal over 1. Is everybody with me? So what am I going to do with the 200 and the 0.6? What do you think I'm going to do with those? No? Tell them. What am I going to do with the 200 and the 0.6? You're going to multiply. That's exactly right. Now we can do this multiplication in our head. What's 2 times 12? I'm sorry, 2 times 6. 12 with how many zeros? Yeah, with 2 zeros. How did I know there was 2 zeros? Because it's in the 200, right? However, we have a decimal, so you have to remember to move the decimal over. So the actual answer is what? 120. I'm sorry, guys, my pencil is, I think there's too much going on. So it's 120. Is everybody with me on this? Now, how many times it has to bounce? So this was the first time. So now I have to take 120 and multiply it by what? 0.6 again. All right, now we can do mental math on this one still. What's 6 times 10? 6 times 2. 60 plus 12. So it would be 72 with an extra what? 0. However, we have a decimal. So we move the decimal over and it would be what? Yes, it would be 72. So when it hits the second bounce, it's going to go up to a height of 72 feet, correct? So now I have to do 72 times what? 0.6 again, which we can do. What's 70 times 6? Come on.
420.
420. What's 6 times 2? 12. What's 420 plus 12? 432. Come on, you're supposed to be practicing. You're not getting better at your mental math if you're just saying, yeah, he's always right. What am I doing? No, I'm showing your brain how you're supposed to be multiplying. Does everybody understand that, right? It's not doing any good just to wait for me to say the answer. You're supposed to be saying the answer because you're trying to train your brain to do the mental math. Is it 432 though? It's what? 43.2. Thank you for those you guys who are with me. And that's the what bounce? Third. So now I have to do it one final time. All right. So here we go. 43.2 times 0.6. What was it?
I had a question.
Well, I want to know what 43.2 times 0.6 is. Everybody should be doing this on your paper now. $2,400. 25. Is it 25.92? Yeah, that's what I got. Eventually, I'll show you how to do all that operation in your head. 25.92. Did anybody get 25.92? No. We were close. 19.4 was the closest. All right, so that's pretty good. All right, so this is on the fourth bounce. All right, so everybody can put a star by that. That makes me 0 for what today? 0 for 37. And I just don't think that was that bad, guys. Don't think that was that bad. All right, we're going to talk about that more on when we get into the decimal units. All right. Yeah, we can do number 5. That's what we're getting ready to do. I'm going to pause it for a minute and give everybody a shot. I want everybody to reread number 5. See if they can do it. Think about it. All right. What? Okay.
When you said 72 times 6 and you got
400.
432.
Well, no, 70 times 6 is 420, right?
Yeah.
And then 6 times 2 is 12. So 420 plus 12 is 432, right?
Oh, okay.
And then you move the decimal. All right. So I'm going to pause the video for 1 minute.